folks. This morning's soap comes from us by the SMG Soaps, Shave Master General. This one here is coconut scented. That's where I'd like to be right now. Maybe this would feel a lot better. This soap is no longer in production, so you'll have a difficult time finding it, but it is a nice soap. That's what it looks like there on the inside. Started out being about 4 ounces, so used it a few times, so there's a little bit less than that. And it's firm inside the jar, but it is, once you scoop it out to do a bowl lather like I do, it's soft, creamy. Feels really good when you're pressing it down into the bowl. It just gives you a great impression of the soap before you even lather it up. Just some really nice soap here. Got this from Jonathan quite a while back. Don't think he's making soap anymore. And here's the Allen block, complete with no rubber band this morning. Going to be using Humphrey's witch hazel that's citrus scented. And decided to go ahead, and since that's the kind of mood that I'm in, went ahead and went with Yulay's Holiday Sparkle. Like to be on a holiday, like I said, someplace like that. Got it whipped up here in a small lathering bowl here. It's got deep grooves in the center of it, and this is the brush that I re-knotted with a horsehair knot. And this one here is I guess you might say a white horsehair knot. And I really like this horsehair knot. I wish I'd gotten more of those knots when I bought that a while back. Shaver of the day. The blade's going to be a feather. I used this blade yesterday, so this will be the second use on the blade. And this is a feather adjustable DE, and there's the adjustments there on that side, and you kind of tell that it is pretty much a lot like the feather poplar in, I guess you might say, in some of the parts and finish. This part right here is very reminiscent of the poplar, and as well as the caps there is very much the, seems like the, you just spin off the old block, if you will. This one here has got a lot of plastic in it, and show you what the box looks like. Comes with instructions inside, a couple of blades, and that's what the back side looked like. I got this through Amazon, and I checked this morning, and yeah, they're out of stock. So this is either, this shaver is either in short supply, or it is a very popular. Sorry, I couldn't think of another word, but anyway, feather poplar. Anyway, something to point out. It's very much like the vintage Gillette adjustables. You will want to loosen up the top part, because once you might, I'll go ahead and open up this all the way. You might be able to see this. When you go for the adjustment 1, which is the mild setting, to 2, which is going to be the more aggressive, this moves up and down. So if you have the doors too tight, it won't want it to adjust. And since it's got a lot of plastic in it, you want to pay particular attention to that sort of thing. So you just tighten it down with the knob up here. I found the past couple of times that I've used this, that I hold the razor pretty much like how the handle is designed. Fingers right here, my little fingers down here at the bottom, and so my finger's not up here on the knob, so I don't experience any of the issues of the knob loosening while I'm shaving or anything like that. But it's just something to point out. This, like I said, it's only got 2 settings, a mild and a more aggressive one, if you will. And with a feather blade, to me it seems like, you know, the mild setting is very close to the poplar, and then the more aggressive setting, if you've ever used a Parker razor, that would come pretty close to it, in my experience with it at least. And go ahead and get ready to use the Preshave soap here. If you have not seen this one here, this is a Preshave soap from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. It is unscented, but it is mentholated. And this will be my second puck, if you will, of this particular shave soap. I do like the menthol. It is nice in the mornings, and especially with my nose the way that it is, giving me fits, especially the past, oh gosh, it's been about a week now. It's been pretty rough. But at any rate, it's getting better. Yesterday was a much better day. I can actually smell the coconut soap this morning. Now later on today it could be a different story what I smell. But it's it seems like it's got even a hint of vanilla. It's a very nice scent. I mean, for me, it's very straightforward. I don't feel like it's a complex scent, so it makes me feel a little bit better about my nose. That I'm actually smelling what I'm reading on the label. It is nice. Get some of this pre-shave soap worked in here. I've shaved a few times with this shaver. I couldn't hardly wait. I waited, it seems like, long enough just to be able to find it, catch it at the right time for it to be in stock, and now I got to shave with it. It is a pretty nice shaver for what it is. It's a tool, and in other words, it's not going to win any kind of beauty queen competition contest. It's the finish is a lot like the feather poplar. It's the finish is there on the calves. It's just it's a tool, and this one here I feel like is probably a good one for somebody, not just to start with, but it may fit the bill that's for somebody that's looking for something like this. An adjustable razor for somebody new that has several settings can be quite intimidating, I would think, for some folks, especially for those that may have a hard time making decisions about this sort of thing anyhow, because the only information you're going to really get off of adjustable shaver is to use it yourself. Find out what those settings mean to you and what works best for you. That's about the only way you're going to really find out about it. For me, this one here, it's not too aggressive. Mild setting is mild. The next aggressive setting, I would say, hits right in the middle of the road, at least for my experience. I don't feel like it's too aggressive. My thoughts on this one here, I'm going to go ahead and start with the more aggressive setting, so that with the pass being the more aggressive, taking most of the hair off, and since a number of folks have issues with the against the grain pass, some can't do it or have a difficult time doing it because of the, say like for instance weepers or whatever, then switching over there to the milder setting does the trick. On the against the grain pass being somewhat smoother, I know it worked real well for me. I guess you might say it takes the bite off of a feather blade, especially on against the grain pass. It's easy to use, at least for me. It's holding it seems to be pretty natural, the way the handle is designed. The second pass going across the grain, I will use the same setting before I switch to the milder setting. This seems to work fairly well for me. For me, there's more taken off with the grain and across the grain than what there is against the grain, and it's just the way my hair, way it's all growing. It doesn't, I guess you might say, for me, I don't feel like it's normal the way that my facial hair grows. I've mentioned it before, and I typically don't shave this way, where I use a with the grain pass and two across the grains, with my across the grains going in different directions, because I will take off more hair and come closer to being, I guess you might say, BBS at that point than I would with your typical against the grain pass. That's just the way my hair grows. But I also know that if I'm not careful, getting that BBS can be kind of treacherous with razor burn or more along the lines of a lot of weepers, sore skin. So where for some folks against the grain seems to be a problematic pass, for me going to against grain passes in different directions is problematic for me. I've tried it a few times. Sometimes, depending on the shaver, I do alright. I know that some of the cases, boy, my face was pretty sore afterwards. I guess you might say, definitely didn't enjoy that part. Even on the more aggressive setting with a feather blade, this does seem like a pretty smooth shaver to me. Glad I got it though. I've been really anxious ever since I first seen it come out. That was quite a while back. To see if maybe they've hit a sweet spot. And I kind of feel like they have. It's not a real expensive shaver out there. Being an adjustable, even though it's got two settings, it is adjustable. To me, it makes it easier for somebody starting out not to be overwhelmed with 6, 7, 9 settings, you know, depending on the shaver that you're looking at. It's not real heavy. I wouldn't call it a lightweight, but it's, I don't know for sure what the weight is. I would say it's probably near 2 ounces. Kind of feels like it. It's not the lightest shaver out there, but it's not the heaviest by any means. It gets close to being about middle of the road. 2 ounces is about middle of the road, I would think, when it comes to weight. So if you're kind of put off about the plastic, that probably, for one, that keeps the cost down when using the plastic, but it also helps with the weight. There's not much left right there, I'm telling you. The third pass right now is more of a pickup pass than it is anything else. Alright, went ahead and loosen it up. Switching over to the next setting. Having a lot of fun with this shave. I enjoy this shaver. It does take a lot of the guesswork out. For me, it hits with the sweet spots where I can still get a very close, comfortable shave and don't have to think too much about my settings. This horsehair knot's pretty soft. And it's got just enough backbone where it's really easy to work with and when it comes to lathering. Have to say this coconut scent strength, I'd say probably, you know, coconut's usually not a super strong strength scent to begin with, but this one here I'd probably say is close to a 6. It stays pretty steady. Still very much out there where you can pick up on the smell, the scent, which I like. My nose needs all the help it can get. I know what else I was going to mention. Speaking of awesome shavers, right before I got started this morning, taking my vitamins and all the neat things I do in the mornings, medicine and whatnot. Caught a short video from Jill. Trevor had sent her an awesome gift bag, I guess you might call it. She got a bag of 5 shavers, I believe it was. Great shavers too. I'll put a link down below to her video. She was having fun getting videos uploaded, it sounded like. I've had one of those days. I didn't delete the video, but I sure did think it was, I thought it was a goner. And today, and some of the stuff that she's experiencing with the uploads and whatnot, I'm not so sure that it's not, some of it has anything to do with maybe YouTube having some issues, because I had to try a couple of times just to get it where the comments would come up, where a person could even see them or even comment. There would be nothing down below. This is a great shave. I did go ahead and use the feather blades. Excuse me. When I first used this, I used a derby. Derby blade worked just fine. I feel like I got a closer shave with the feather blade. But if you're concerned about the feather blade, I can tell you that a derby blade works really well. At least it did for me. It really did. It's just I get a closer shave with the feather blade. Very nice shave. I mean, that's a pretty typical, easygoing, straightforward shave, and you know, there's not hardly any hair left at all on my face. There wasn't very much to start out with this morning. Used this shaver yesterday and got a really nice shave with it yesterday too. It's just something to think about if you're looking for a, if you're just in the market for an easygoing shaver, just two adjustments on it. You might even actually grow with it. In other words, as you're starting out, use the mildest setting first. It doesn't come in a case, I tell you that much, like the Poplar does. It comes in the box with instructions, whatnot, and they're pretty nice instructions. I mean, considering a lot of times you get a shaver and no, you don't get much in the way of instructions, if any at all. Got a little bit of stinging right there. Every once in a while with this shaver, I noticed, and it might be me because I'm new to the shaver, and the shaver's new to me. See, I don't ever find where I've nicked myself. I don't see any blood, don't see anything, any red marks indicating that's where I caught myself. But I think on my across the green pass every once in a while, I think edge of that blade, I think I'm catching myself with it. Just a slight learning curve with it. If you got any experience with DE, this would be a pretty easy DE to use. That was the only spot that I had stinging. And it's kind of typical as goes for the redness. If you're not familiar or seen a number of my videos, this redness, I'll start out with it before I even start to shave. It's just kind of a typical normal, guess you might say, thing for me. It's not really an indication of irritation or anything. It is noticeable to folks from time to time because my wife will ask me about it. Did you just shave? You didn't shave, did you? No. No? Well, your face is awfully red right there. I said, yes, honey. Yeah, so the wife notices it too. Couldn't tell you what it's about. This scent here, I picked it up, and I should mention, this is this aftershave is witch hazel based. So there's not any alcohol in it, and this particular one here, this Holiday Sparkle, I thought it would go well with the fact that this is a Caribbean coconut, and my nose, at least the way it is this morning, I pick up something like maybe a mango, a melon type fruit, something of the sort like that maybe. Yeah, thought it would go with it. At least with the theme that's going on in my mind where I'd rather be this morning. Smells great. From time to time, I think that's what I'm smelling is the mango. I have another aftershave, Mango Tango, from Van Yulay, Monica. And I think her store's supposed to be open back up May the 1st, I think is what she said. She had a death in the family. Her father died, and so her store's been closed for, I think, for the whole month of April, I'm sorry. But at any rate, if you're interested in looking for something like this right here, it'll run you a whole $10. And this one here, I like this one. Glad I got that one. Wasn't sure what a holiday sparkle would be like, especially with my nose. I had a great shave. Once again, here's the shaver. It's pretty easy to use. It's pretty straightforward. Like I said, see if I can show you with the right side up. That's what the blade looks like in there. As you can kind of tell on the doors, there's still some soap on there. It's residue, but like I say, it's got a little bit of a shine to it. It's not going to win any beauty contest, but it is a pretty decent tool to be using. As it goes for, due to the amount of plastic in here, I do sometimes kind of wonder how long this would last, but I do think you take care of it, keep it clean. In other words, don't let the soap scum build up on it. For me, when I clean these up, I got some Q-tips over here. I just wipe it down real quick, and usually that does the trick. It keeps it relatively clean, and at any rate, I think it's a pretty good shaver. I'm glad I got it. So you'll have to be patient. I'll go ahead and put the link down below. So if you want to read up on it, on Amazon, that's the most convenient place for me to find it. It's been a bit of a struggle, in other words, to find somebody that would actually sell it to me, because it'd be, from someplace, out of the States, and they don't sell towards the States. So I'd find it sometimes, but they would say they won't ship it to me. So in other words, it wasn't from the lack of trying, but at any rate, maybe you're interested in it, and you have to keep trying on Amazon, and maybe eventually it'll come back up for you. Days gotta get going, gotta go to work. I hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.